Have you ever reached a moment in life when you suddenly realize that you can't truly rely on anyone, not even family? That realization is one of the hardest truths of aging. The emotional and practical support you once counted on from relatives begins to shift, shrink, and often vanish altogether. Children get caught up in busy lives. Siblings face their own health challenges. Friends relocate, fall ill, or pass away. At some point, you find yourself silently asking, who's really there for me? That question can hit like a brick wall if you aren't prepared. But here's the empowering news. You can be ready. In fact, it's possible to build a life in your 70s and beyond where you feel strong, grounded, and unshaken, regardless of who stays or goes. This message isn't about bitterness, it's about wisdom. Because real, dependable support, what you can count on at midnight or during a lonely afternoon, rarely comes from family. It often comes from 5 overlooked sources, and many people don't discover them until it's too late. These 5 pillars form the backbone of a peaceful, independent life in your later years. They are quiet but powerful supports, ones that don't disappoint, don't drift away, and don't make you feel like a burden. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share may transform how you view aging and reveal how truly powerful you already are. 1. Physical mobility. When you're in your 70s, the ability to move freely and independently isn't just about walking, it's about freedom and dignity. It's perhaps the most important form of support you can have that doesn't rely on another person. Physical mobility means you can get out of bed without assistance, prepare a warm meal, reach up for your favorite plate, or step outside and breathe in fresh air, all on your own. That capability offers real emotional support, confidence, self-reliance, and a diminished fear of being a burden. Maintaining mobility in your 70s doesn't require running marathons. It means protecting joints, preserving balance, and keeping muscles strong enough to trust your own 2 legs. Small daily habits, 15 minutes of walking, gentle morning stretches, or light resistance bands can make a world of difference. And it's never too late to start. Your body responds more to your activity than your age. Psychologically, mobility combats the deep fear of helplessness. When your body becomes dependent, your mind can shrink too. Plans fade. Invitations get declined, not due to lack of interest, but because of the fear you won't be able to manage. That's not aging, that's shrinking. But you don't have to live that way. Consider Harold, an 80-year-old man I met at a Florida park. He walks laps every morning with a cane, rain or shine. I asked why he was so committed. He replied, "Because the moment I stop walking is the moment I start waiting for someone to help me. And I don't want to wait. I want to live." His mobility isn't perfect, but it's his, and it brings peace. He still drives to the grocery store, visits friends on Sundays, and climbs the 3 steps to his porch with pride. Not because someone built a ramp, but because he refused to stop moving. Investing in your body, even in small ways, gives you back a level of freedom people often don't appreciate until it's gone. Family may not be there to escort you to appointments or help you up after a fall. But if your legs are strong, your core stable, and your balance steady, you can delay those needs and preserve independence longer than most expect. That kind of self-supported mobility brings confidence, not just physically but emotionally too. If you're feeling stiff or weak some days, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Start where you are. Try walking just a little more today than yesterday. Stretch while your coffee brews. Take 1 extra lap around the hallway. Every small effort builds something big. Your own reliable foundation. A foundation that walks beside you, regardless of who shows up. 2. Financial simplicity. In your 70s, peace of mind isn't about how much money you have. It's about knowing what you need, what you can manage, and living within your means with clarity and dignity. Financial simplicity is one of the strongest supports you can rely on, and one you fully control. Complicated finances become emotional baggage. juggling multiple accounts, tracking subscriptions you rarely use, managing credit cards. It's more than stressful. It crushes your sense of stability. For older adults, stability is about survival as much as comfort. No matter how much your family loves you, they can't erase financial chaos. But a simple, clear plan can carry you through the toughest times, like a sturdy cane for your soul. And here's what many miss. Simplicity doesn't mean giving up control. It means gaining control. A modest lifestyle that fits you, not someone else's expectations. The freedom to spend on what you truly need without second guessing. It's like clearing out a cluttered closet. Once your finances are organized, your mind can rest. Psychologically, financial simplicity removes one of the biggest sources of late-life anxiety. Many older adults lie awake wondering, will I outlive my savings? What if I can't afford a caregiver someday? Those uncertainties haunt more than physical pain. But when you understand where your money goes, and when your income covers your needs without stretching, you sleep better, stand taller, and feel steadier. Let me share about Lorraine, 78, widowed, former librarian. After her husband passed away, she met with a financial counselor and chose to downsize. A smaller home, fewer bills, only one credit card, and 0 unused subscriptions. She told me, I used to dread opening the mail. Now I open every envelope with a clear head and calm heart. She even started a small jar labeled her Freedom Fund, just inserting $10 bills now and then. That simple act reminded her she was in charge of her money, not the other way around. What Lorraine did wasn't magic, it was choice. A quiet, deliberate decision to simplify her financial life so she could focus on living, not merely surviving. And here's the most powerful part. When your finances are simple, you need fewer people to help manage them. You don't call your son every time you get a bill. You don't wait for someone else to explain fine print. You handle it. You're the captain. If money feels overwhelming right now, take a breath. You're not alone, and you don't have to be wealthy. You just need clarity. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Consolidate what you can. Track your income and expenses. Make it so simple you could explain your monthly plan to a friend over coffee. Because in the end, peace isn't in the dollars, it's in the knowing. 3. A consistent health routine. At age 70 and beyond, your greatest support system is not your children, your neighbors, or even your doctor. It is your daily health routine. And I'm not talking about trendy workouts or expensive supplements. I'm referring to the small, steady actions you take every day to keep your body and mind functioning well. These daily choices build real independence. When your body feels stable, so does your spirit. You see, many people wait until something goes wrong before they pay attention to their health. But that's like patching a leaky roof in the middle of a thunderstorm. It's reactive and keeps you in a constant state of emergency. A consistent routine changes that. It places you in control. When you take a walk every morning, drink water regularly, stretch your legs, take your medications on time, and choose food that fuels you, not just fills you, you create a rhythm of respect for your body. And that rhythm will carry you through the days when motivation is low and your body feels heavy. There is a hidden power in routine, especially as we age. Psychologically, routines reduce anxiety by eliminating decision fatigue. You no longer ask, should I do this today? You just do it. That predictability leads to stability. And stability builds confidence. Confidence, in turn, helps you avoid feeling like a burden. It allows you to say, I am still capable. I'm still moving. I still take care of myself. Let me tell you about Frank, an 85-year-old retired electrician. Every morning at 6 o'clock a.m., he makes a cup of green tea, completes 15 minutes of chair stretches, takes his morning meds, and walks around the block for half an hour. Rain or shine. He once told me, it's not about exercise. It's about reminding myself every morning that I still matter. That struck me because his routine isn't about fitness. It's about identity. It's about staying connected to the part of himself that refuses to quit, no matter how many years have passed. And here's something you might not realize. When you follow a consistent routine, you actually need less outside help. You're less likely to forget your pills, to fall, or to feel disoriented. It's like paving a clear path through a foggy forest. Even when things feel uncertain, your feet know where to go because they've walked that path before. That's real support, and it doesn't rely on anyone but you. Now, of course, some days are harder than others. Your joints may ache, your energy may dip, the weather might keep you indoors. That's okay. Your routine can be flexible. What matters is not perfection, but consistency. A short walk around the house, a few deep breaths by the window, a full glass of water before bed. These aren't monumental tasks, but together they form a safety net. A net that catches you, holds you, and keeps you moving forward with grace. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you've let your routine slip lately, begin again. Start small. One habit, one action. Every time you show up for yourself, you're proving that you are your own best caregiver. And that kind of support, no one can take it away from you. Number 4, emotional resilience. If there is one form of support that becomes more valuable with age, it is emotional resilience. Not money, not even physical health. Because when your emotions are strong, you can weather almost anything. Loneliness, grief, disappointment, and even the letdowns that sometimes come from family. Emotional resilience is the ability to sit in silence without feeling empty and to face hardship without being destroyed by it. By the time you reach 70, life has probably handed you more than your fair share of losses. A spouse passing, children becoming distant, health changes. Many believe emotional strength means never feeling sad. That's a mistake. Real resilience is not about avoiding sadness. It's about feeling the sadness fully and allowing it to pass through you without letting it take root in you. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about telling yourself, this hurts, but I can handle it. And every time you sit with pain instead of running from it, you become less afraid of what's coming. That's powerful. That's liberating. It means you're not leaning on others to carry your sorrow. You're learning how to hold it yourself. Let me share a story. Eileen, age 79, lost her husband 5 years ago and now lives alone. I once asked her, "What helps you through the hard days?" She said, "I light a candle every night. Not because I'm religious, but because it reminds me I'm still here. I cry some nights. I laugh others. But I always tell myself, you made it through today." That small act is her ritual. It's her way of acknowledging pain without letting it consume her. Resilience isn't just for surviving major tragedies. It helps with the little disappointments too. When your son doesn't call, when a friend moves away, when you can no longer do what you used to. If you crumble every time something shifts, life becomes too painful to enjoy. But emotional strength gives you freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of other people's choices or life's changes. You're steady because you choose how to respond. Psychologically, emotional resilience rewires your brain. It slows your thoughts. It teaches your nervous system not to overreact. It builds the confidence that, no matter what happens, you'll be okay. In later life, when so much is uncertain, that's one of the most valuable gifts you can give yourself. How do you build emotional resilience? It begins with awareness. Speak to yourself with kindness. Allow your emotions to exist, but don't let them rule you. Create grounding rituals, writing in a journal, walking in nature, listening to music that stirs your spirit. And always remind yourself, you have survived everything you've been through so far. That's not luck. That's strength. So yes, family may fade. Health may falter. But if your emotional core remains strong, you will stand, clear-eyed, steady-hearted, and deeply rooted in the quiet knowledge that you are enough, all by yourself. If you're still with me, and if this message is speaking to you, drop a number 4 in the comments so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video. Number 5. A personal code of values. There is something profoundly powerful about having your own personal code of values, especially after age 70. When the world shifts around you, when people disappoint you, and when the future feels uncertain, your values become your compass. They tell you who you are, what matters, and how you want to live, no matter what anyone else does. Many seniors lose direction after retirement or family changes because they've lived their whole lives fulfilling roles and expectations. They were the good parent, the dedicated worker, the faithful partner. But when those roles fade, they're left asking, what now? That's when a personal code becomes essential. It says, this is who I am, this is how I live, even when no one is watching. Your values might include honesty, kindness, responsibility, simplicity, or self-respect. These traits may not impress others, but they matter to you. And that's the point. When you live by your values, you stop needing outside approval. You stop chasing validation. You stop feeling rattled when others disagree because your peace no longer depends on them. Let me introduce you to Howard, a man in his early 82s. He once told me, I live by 5 rules. I speak the truth. I don't waste food. I always return what I borrow. I forgive quickly. And I go to bed with a clear conscience. That's it. And every day, Howard lives by that simple code. He's not wealthy. He doesn't have a large family. But he carries himself with quiet dignity. Why? Because he knows exactly who he is. Psychologically, living by a personal code reduces regret. It simplifies decision-making. You don't lie awake wondering, did I do the right thing? Because you already know what the right thing means for you. It also provides internal stability. When life throws you curveballs, and it will, you're less likely to panic. You have a foundation to stand on. You have your own compass. So ask yourself, what values matter to me? How do I want to live, no matter who's watching? Because when you know your values, you know yourself. And in later life, that clarity is one of the greatest forms of support you can have. You don't need a large audience. You don't need applause. You just need the quiet confidence that you're living life on your own terms, and that's enough. You'll think, what do my values say about this? And that becomes your guide. In fact, studies in elder psychology show that seniors who live by a consistent set of values report higher life satisfaction, lower anxiety, and better cognitive health. Why? Because clarity brings calm. When your life has a through line, a thread of integrity, it keeps you grounded. But here's what's even more important. Your values are yours. No one else needs to agree with them. You don't have to explain them. You just have to live them. That's what makes them powerful. Whether it's waking up early to greet the sun, refusing to gossip, being generous even when you have little, or staying curious about the world, whatever values speak to your soul, hold on to them. Let them carry you. Because when you can look in the mirror at 75 or 85 and say, I lived according to what I believe, that's real success. That's real self-respect. And no one, not your children, not society, not even time, can take that away from you. It's the kind of support that never fades because it lives inside you. And in the end, that's what this journey is about. Not being remembered by everyone else, but being at peace with yourself. A personal code gives you that peace. It's not loud, it doesn't boast, but it holds you up, quietly, faithfully, when everything else changes. Number 5, final thoughts. You know, as we age, we often find ourselves reflecting on who really stands beside us when the lights are low and the days grow quiet. And it's not always who we thought. Family, friends, even our own bodies can become less dependable with time. But that doesn't mean we're left with nothing. In fact, the older we get, the more we realize that some of the strongest supports in our lives were never outside of us at all. They were within us, waiting for us to lean on them. Maybe it's the quiet strength of daily routines, the comforting rhythm that tells your mind and body, you're safe, you're grounded. Or maybe it's the joy of small pursuits, things that make the hours feel meaningful even when no one else is around. These are not just hobbies. They're lifelines to our identity and purpose. Then there's physical self-maintenance. Something as simple as keeping your legs strong and your meals balanced can spell the difference between independence and dependence. It's a truth we don't always want to hear, but it's one that gives us the most control over how we age. Taking care of yourself isn't vanity, it's wisdom. We also talked about having a sharp mind, staying curious, staying engaged, staying alive in the world of ideas and change. When your brain keeps growing, so does your sense of relevance and resilience. You don't fade away. You adapt. You evolve. You surprise even yourself. And perhaps most quietly powerful of all, we explored having a personal code, a set of values that define who you are, no matter who walks in or out of your life. That's your compass. That's your armor. That's what allows you to age with dignity and die with peace. So, what does this all mean? It means that the most reliable support system after 70 might not be a person, but a mindset, a way of living rooted in habits, beliefs, and practices that keep you steady, no matter what the world does. It's about becoming your own foundation, because when you can stand strong alone, you never really feel alone. That kind of inner strength isn't just comforting, it's liberating. Now, here's a gentle challenge for you. Take a moment, maybe after this video ends, and ask yourself, which of these supports do I already have in place? And which one do I want to build up starting today? Don't be afraid to start small. Big changes begin with one quiet decision made in the privacy of your own heart. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.